part of Barton Malow has been our innovation. And even though that wasn't the buzzword, when we look back at Fast Track, doing concrete, we were one of the first to pump concrete. And then we had a concrete pumping division. You look at construction management. If we see something that'll benefit the client, that's going to be the driver. We've always been basic in our values and our core values. Well, we've been very aggressive and innovative with new ideas in servicing the client.
I haven't met a customer that didn't want their project sooner, faster, and for less money. And so construction management was a means, a methodology to do that, allowing you to design a project in phases that would go along with bid packages, breaking a project into parts that you could accelerate the start of a project while you're still working on the finishing parts, if you would, buy it out early in smaller packages so you get more competition. And in that whole process, managed correctly, you can go faster and save the owner money. So that was the story behind construction management, meeting an owner's need.
I was very fortunate in my career here at Barton Malow because when I started in 1981, Ben III had just became president of the company. CM was just its very roots. I mean, Barton Malow had just finished the Silver Dome, which I think was one of the first cutting-edge fast-track projects built in the country. And
building the Pontiac Silver Dome was a marquee project for a number of reasons. One, it was the first construction management project that we ever did on a major project. And two, it was the first really large sports project that we were involved with. We're going to talk about innovation. That project was pretty innovative in that it had an air-supported roof. It was a Teflon roof, and the roof was actually held down by cables.
Well, we had done some service work for the Lions, and the new project came up, and we were fortunate to be selected to be the contractor. Initially, it was an open-air stadium, but shortly we're on board, and it was a fast-track job, and the thought of a dome stadium. We probably took a risk then that I don't think we'd take today. A dome had been built in Iowa, about a 1-acre roof for a tennis facility. Well, this was a 12-acre roof, elevated, and so it's never been done before. But the Lions approached us about we would design, build it, and we would finance it, and when it was inflated, they would pay us. Here's something that haven't been done before. When we did inflate that stadium, it was a lot more significant than the media appreciated, that the risk we took, and we did not get paid until it was fully inflated. And so what credibility we got in an organization was major. From that, we did the Minneapolis Metrodome, the Georgia Dome, and really was our entree into the sports world that I don't know if we'd be a player today, and we're one of the handful of national leaders if it wasn't again for the Silver Dome.
There's a lot of examples of innovation. I think of Shriners Hospital in Boston. It's downtown Boston. Existing Shriners Hospital, the owner there, Shriners, elected to build on the same site. And we came up with this scheme of super columns to literally build the new hospital above the existing hospital, kept the existing hospital in operation, moved the existing hospital into the new space, and then while they were operating in the new space above, tore down the old hospital and then built down into the ground the balance of this hospital. Kept them up and running the entire time. That kind of innovation, that kind of planning is really, really exciting.
And again, what Shriners does for our country and for kids, again, an added satisfaction of helping an important institution and making our communities better.
So as Vice President of Business Transformation, I lead with our business transformation team, which focuses really on opportunities to disrupt the industry, but also opportunities to transform the way Barton Malow does business. What I love about Barton Malow, what I love about Lean, that it articulates this is respect for people. That people doing the work in Barton Malow are the ones that are going to have the best ideas, are in the best position to have ideas about what could make a difference. You know, how to improve processes, new tools that should be made available that would help our work. I would say we have multiple processes for innovation at Barton Malow. Necessitated by that there's just various types of innovation, from very incremental, making a process just a little bit better, all the way to these transformative ideas like lift build.
It's one of the things I often tell our new hires is that we like to look for ideas grassroots. Look to the people who are doing the work, and either by finding their pain problems or finding out the things that they're already fixing. And a lot of innovation comes from right there. In fact, we have a biannual event called our Applied Technology Community, and people from all over the company come in, just people who are doing the job out in the field and solving problems, and they compare notes and connect the dots. It's one of the challenges in our industry is you have smart people solving problems. Construction people are problem solvers, and they're all over the country solving problems. People showing each other what their problems are, what they're working on, and then, you know, they get energy around the ones where everybody's feeling the pain, and we solve problems, come up with new things.
So construction robotics has really focused on worker assist, you know, helping to lift heavy items. That's with their mule system. And then also with their bricklaying robot, SAM, semi-automated mason, that is used for bricklaying. Now, we don't do masonry work ourselves, so we've been more focusing on influencing our subcontractors and our customers to use some of these tools to do the work. But I thought one of the really great things that was a benefit of having a tool like the mule that can lift heavier items is that you can rethink the materials that you're using. So instead of a 12-inch block, you can use a 36-inch block, because now you're not constrained by what a person can carry. So it can make the installation far faster because you've got this larger block.
Barton Malow's efforts in innovation have definitely accelerated under Ryan's leadership. He was talking about the industry in general and how sort of dysfunctional it is and how difficult it is. And he said if a Martian came down and looked at how we build buildings, what would they say? That was years ago now. That is the question that gets me out of bed in the morning. It's not so much that I want to innovate just to make little things better. It's that driving question that I think is interesting.
I didn't realize when we started the team how difficult it is to kind of rewire yourself to aim at things that are much further out, that don't have as tangible results today or even 6 months from now. That you really have to put yourself in a mindset of, I'm working on things that may or may not have value, one, which is really like uncomfortable. We are a very results-driven business. You know, so you're going to experiment with things that might turn out not to have any value, so you have to pivot away from them. Or I'm going to work on something that we might not actually see the payoff from that work for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. It's really hard to put yourself in that. So we had to constantly battle against being drawn into things that would give us more of a short-term, yes, I know I'm on the right track kind of thing, and really stay focused on the long term. We're looking to transform the industry, not just make it incrementally better. When we talk about business transformation, there is no bigger investment that we're making in business transformation than lift build.
Obviously, our biggest effort, which is lift build, has been extremely motivating and kind of revitalizing for me. Having the opportunity to be able to not only improve innovation for the organization, but improve innovation for the industry has been very, very rewarding for me. Lift build is a very innovative approach towards building tall buildings from the top down, and when we say that, a lot of people grab a hold of the structural solution that lift build provides, but lift build is really aimed to change the whole user experience and the project lifecycle. That change and impact to the entire project lifecycle starts early on in design. It changes the way that we interact with the customer base. It changes the way that we design buildings and the way we procure buildings and eventually convert the construction site into more of a manufacturing environment, and we refer to that as vertical manufacturing now. So rather than dealing with the mass customization and inefficiency of a construction site, let's make this look like more of an assembly line that we're used to seeing, being rooted in the automotive industry here in Detroit. And so Lift Build is aimed to provide quicker schedules, but most importantly a safer work environment, a more efficient work environment for our tradesmen and women. And through all of that, innovation in design and innovation in the work environment, we should see buildings that are built quicker and more cost economical, and most importantly, keeping people safer, taking that work that is normally done at 200 feet in the air and bring it down to 4 or 5 foot off the ground, eliminating those hazards and keeping people safe is number one priority.
What we saw was the real opportunity for Lift Build to be packaged as a product that you could integrate design, integrate the methodology, and because of the consistency in how the structure is built and the methodology of creating the building, that there were tremendous efficiencies that could be leveraged as a result of that. Couple that with our understanding of vertical integration and how to maximize the benefits of our own labor force, and we just thought it would be worth giving a try, seeing what we could do with it. For the last 6 years or so, we've had a team that's been working on how to improve the technology, and at the same time trying to find this proof of concept. How do we bring this concept to market? And so, yeah, it's great to be sitting here and finished proof of concept that not only proved out the concept, but that really validated all of the opportunities that were initially anticipated and more, that there's really terrific potential beyond what we've been able to see and experience on this exchange project. Our projects are often throwing unknowns at us, and so optimistic and confident that because of that, we're pretty good at solving problems, and we'll be able to be prepared and be able to navigate some significant potential challenges in the next 5 years.